What's going on, everybody? Will here, Flawless Crested Geckos, coming to you guys with another video. And this week the talking point is going to be on incubation times and how they vary. Everybody's situation is different. This talking topic comes up because we actually get quite a few questions about the incubator that we use, which is the Willbanks incubator. We have two of them. We love them. There's so many different options out there on the market, and for us, the homeostatic incubator was exactly what we needed. The cooling phase, heating phase, we needed both components for our specific application. We were running pretty much a very fairly large operation when we were doing the breedings inside of our home. This here was actually one of the gecko rooms that we've now converted into a studio for recording. And in here we were able to, I guess, control the elements to a certain extent. The entire house, we have two, I guess you would call them two furnaces, gas furnaces. We have two ACs, completely separate ACs. Our home is on one level, so one half of the house is one furnace, one AC, and the other half the same. That being said, who in the world in their right mind under normal living situations wants to consistently be living in 75 degree, temps inside your home? 76, 72. I know some people like 72. We do not. Not for us living and trying to be comfortable. On top of that, whether you're misting or you're running a humidifier, to each his own. We run a humidifier. We control the humidity. Even when we ran it inside of our home, we ran a humidifier inside of this room and inside of the other gecko room as well. Incubation was not a huge issue. We were producing a lot of eggs, but we have a third bathroom where it was not being used at all. Therefore, all the counter space, we built a wooden rack to kind of hold the tackle box cases that we were incubating our eggs in on. So we were able to put it levels, like 8, 9, 10 levels of tackle boxes full of eggs in that bathroom, and pretty much have the temp in that bathroom right around 72 degrees, didn't fluctuate, and it was pretty much perfect. So that's pretty much how things were. And then when we decided to build the facility, things changed drastically. We are not, builders, construction workers. We didn't know how this was actually going to turn out. We never did anything like this ever before. Go back through some of our videos if you're just catching some of the latter videos from us. And see what all we went through, because Audra would always tell her story about carrying drywall and holding drywall up. But we had a lot of fun during the process. Didn't think it was necessarily fun because we were wearing a lot of different hats all at the same time. Imagine basically taking care of your very large collection, taking care of the business side of things, social media side of things, like now, at the same time working throughout the night at times, building an actual standalone brick and mortar structure for your business. And we did that, kind of designed it exactly the way we wanted. End result being, we are able to have a smart facility in the vault, which is what we call it, the vault. That's where we, house all our valuables at in there when it comes to our collection. And we built it to a T where we can control the temps. It's a smart facility. We can do all this control and monitoring from our cell phones and our MacBooks from wherever we are in the world, as long as we have an internet connection. That being said, we wanted to be able to, if it needed to be more humid, increase the humidity. If we wanted to lower the humidity, we could lower the humidity. The problem that comes in for us During the off season for the geckos themselves, everything is picture perfect, no issues. But
when hey guys, Flawless Crested Geckos here, Will, Audra, and we're here to tell you about our Patreon.
Yes, going through tough times, you got to know that Flawless is always going to have your back. If you go over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Geckos, you'll see all the perks and benefits it is there for you to come and support us on our Patreon. $50 a month turns around and goes right back into your Flawless Crested Geckos savings account for you to use towards your next purchase.
Any purchase. We also give awesome benefits such as 5% off the top of the price of the gecko. We get free merchandise, t-shirts, we have stainless steel tables, tools, yes. All kinds of goodies. We also give free shipping to our members all year round, no blackout dates. And you know, we give awesome tips, or we think we do anyway.
That's right. So go over to patreon.com/Flawless Crested Geckos
and join our family.
But when it came to incubating eggs, started having some issues. And the issues I want to say that we run into is because now you have a facility that you can, you know, run your temps 72, you can run it 78, 79, 80. 80 degrees, I would say, is pretty much the ceiling. You don't want to go over 80 degrees. We have fans in the facility that move the stagnant air around. We've actually done several videos talking about these different features of the vault. But we don't like to fluctuate on the eggs. So whether it's off season and you know it's October and it's November, December, and there's no one being paired, no geckos being paired. Really rarely any eggs being laid, even though typically having as many geckos as we have, there's eggs being laid all year round. But you're gonna have these eggs that's now gonna go from, you know, let's say September, end of September, we knock our temps down to right around 72 degrees. We rock out from 72 degrees from the end of September all the way through now, which is February. Next week, we pump the temp back up from 72 to 76. That's ideally the mark we shoot for. Now, the only fluctuations in temps in the facility from 76 is it will creep from 76 to 80 on the days that we're in there, you know, raising the temperature inside with our body temperature, with the LED lights on for extended periods of time. The lights are on a time management system every single day, cycling on and off for day cycles. It's really, really cool. But we were incubating the same way we were incubating inside of our home when we first got started. So we were incubating tackle boxes. We had plenty of shelf space. We built an entire desk area with granite countertop where we were able to stack boxes full of eggs and incubate. We didn't have too much of an issue, but we can see how it could be an issue in the process. So we wanted to get in front of it. You don't typically want to fluctuate your temps. So imagine you have, you know, 10 eggs, 2 eggs, 100 eggs, and you're incubating and it's at 72 degrees ambient temp. And now you're going to go from 72 to 76. You know, on some days you're going from 76 to 80, back down to 76. It's so much fluctuation going on. We don't want to be the breeders of people to add more issues on our plate than we need it to be necessary. So that's what comes up with the homeostatic incubator. There's tons of different options out there, but that's why we went with the Willbanks incubator. This specific video, even though we are super positive and pro Willbanks incubators, this is not a promo for the incubator. This is one to tell you guys why we decided to go with it. We've received a lot of messages on people asking, hey, should I get an incubator? What type of incubator should I get? And our response is always the same. Everybody's situation is different. If you need the expense, the write-off for tax purposes, again, talk to your CPA. Maybe it's a good thing to do, period. Depends on where you are in your business. But if you were like our previous setup where we had them inside the house incubating in our extra bathroom, we didn't need it. We didn't need it at that point. But we saw a need for it when we moved into the full-blown facility to prevent any fluctuating of the temps. The only other way that we would really get out of doing that, in my opinion, would be to go back to incubating inside of our home. Our facility is built pretty much 20-30 feet behind our home, so that means we would have to take eggs from inside our facility, put them into, you know, cases or whatever it may be, and then transport them up to the house, incubate them up here in the house, then transport them once they hatch back to the facility. It's just too much extra work. That's why we figured the incubator, Mike Willbanks incubator, was a one-stop fix-all situation. So hopefully that type answers. It is a pro incubator answer, but only within certain parameters of your needs. If you're hatching out a few hundred eggs and your temperatures are fluctuating, then yes, because now no matter how our temperatures fluctuate in our facility, we can keep our temps on our eggs consistently at 68, 69 degrees, period. It don't matter if it's 80 degrees ambient, our incubators will cool our eggs off. If it was 50 degrees for some reason in there, our incubators will heat our eggs up. And we don't necessarily have to monitor that, even though we've hooked that up to our Govee wireless Wi-Fi smart system as well. We just want to kind of cross our T's, dot our I's. Don't take on the unnecessary expense if you don't have to. Maybe it'd be something that you step up to in the future, maybe near future, or maybe it's just something you want out of convenience. But don't think that this is one of those things that you have to have for your next step of becoming a breeder, for your next step of elevating your business. It's not necessary unless your circumstances demand that. That's all. But it's Will, Flawless Crested Geckos, and we out.